welcome to today in News on Vanguard Live. I am Precious Chukudi. We begin with the front pages of the papers this morning, starting off with Vanguard. Vanguard is leading with EFCC battles religious sect over 13 billion naira money laundering for terrorists. You can read that on page 25. On page 20, CBN clamps down on banks, pegs trade assets in forex. The writer says pegs NOP at 20% of shareholders' funds. Measure expected to boost liquidity. Banks compliance will lead to naira appreciation, and that's coming from analysts. Naira down to 1,490 naira to a dollar, appreciates in official market. Stories above, Otodola takes over First Bank as chairman. Can read that on page 20. Ekiti kidnapper, Ondo Amotekun deploys 100 personnel, parades 31 suspects. Bandit kidnapped 2 sisters in Abuja, demands a 30 million naira ransom. EFCC investigating ex-minister Sirika over Nigeria air deal, and that's coming from Kiamo. And last year on the front page of Vanguard, we have Northwest governors rule out negotiation with terrorists. We'll take a look at the Nation newspaper. The Nation is leading with EFCC traces a 7 billion naira fraud cash to religious group. The writer says agency uncovers faith-based groups laundering money for terrorists. And of course, there's a quote that said, I heard my son being beaten, crying when abductors called me. Ekiti Pupil's dad recounts. Police Amotekun begins manhunt. You can read it on page 4. Stories above, government to fix marina, other Lagos shorelines. Third mainland ready in April. You can read that on page 4. Rumpus in federal civil service over redeployment of armed sex. Ogunyeye opens bid for Ondo APC governorship ticket. And last year in front page of the Nation, Otodola is FBN holding chairman. Take a look at the Guardian newspaper. The Guardian is leading with CBN frantically tightens news on banks FX operations speculators. You can read that on page 6. EFCC traces 7 billion naira to religious bodies, alleges faith leaders laundering funds for terrorists. Monarchs are killing. Oni judge calls for community policing. Impute of ex-service chiefs. Rep set December 2025 to deliver new constitution. Northern groups tackle Tinubu over withdrawal of 3 nations from ECOWAS. 1 in every 10 extremely poor people live in Nigeria, says World Bank. Women protesters in Nasarawa to pay 500,000 naira bill after 12 days incarceration. What preparation logistics store student loan scheme? We take a look at the Punch newspaper. The Punch is leading with CBN orders banks to sell excess dollars in 24 hours. The writer says banks may sell over $5 billion, says official. Cardoso faces a Senate Tuesday over naira fall. House of David loses a multi-millionaire Lagos church to fire. EFCC probing Nigeria air deal, and that's coming from Kiamo. Ekiti Obas threatening to invoke Yoruba gods against kidnappers. Makinde gives companies with explosive 72 hours ultimatum. Stories above, Abacus flogged Ekiti school children, and that's come from proprietor. Shareholders excited as Otodola becomes FBN holding chairman. Tinubu directs AGF Lokobiri to end the $1.3 billion oil block dispute, and that's how we can take on the front pages of all the papers. Join us after the break. We'll be right back. Alright, welcome back. If you're just joining still today in the News on Vanguard, I am Precious Chukudi. And joining to talk about some of the stories on the front pages of the papers this morning is Mr. Ludayo Mayowa, publisher of Global Financial Digest. It's good to have you join me this morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me today.
Alright, let's delve in. And of course, yesterday the Naira traded sideways, depreciating the parallel market while appreciating the official market. And of course, this development resumes the growing spread between the two markets, which has drastically breached 2 days ago. What are your thoughts?
Thank you very much. The Naira growth is as a result of so many factors, and majorly supply. If you look at the foreign exchange reserve of the CBN, which is supposed to be a buffer to support the Naira, it has been going down in the last couple of years, even before the floating of the Naira. And don't forget that too, if the people who are having as a inclination that the Naira continue to depreciate, what many people do mostly politicians is to move up the dollars in the system and to hedge their naira against depreciation, and that's what many people are doing. Then don't forget to all the news about corruption in this country, the better do of this world, and the rest. All the money are going to buy dollars. Those money that government officials are still diverted to buy dollars and come to reduce the volume of dollars available to be on the market. Then there are going to be a depreciation. So what I believe that government should do, apart from increasing the supply to export of crude, increase the volume of crude being exported, and other measures to boost supply. Coming to tighten up the loopholes. There are so many speculation in the system. A lot of people are edging against depreciation. So that's why I see the naira coming down. I mean, depreciating very rapidly in the last couple of days or weeks, so to say. So God do something to actually to instill discipline. I mean, discipline the system, build confidence in the economy that naira will stabilize. I want government to do such things. I think the naira will appreciate. I know, so as of tonight, naira is undervalued. So, but due to lack of confidence in the economy, a lot of people are putting their money in dollars and hedging against depreciation, and that's why I say this. That the onus upon the CBN to do something to ensure that it stops speculations.
All right, the CBN has actually ordered the banks to limit the net open position of their foreign currency assets and liability to 20% of shareholders' fund. Now, according to CBN, they are saying that the directive is expected to, show up the fortunes of the naira in the foreign exchange market. What's your thought on this one?
Right, for the CBN circular, this circular that was issued yesterday, we have to really watch out to look at the effect on the market, how impactful it's going to be in the next few weeks, so I can watch the market and see what will be the reaction of the market to those policy measures. They are good measures in the sense that what we have noticed that most banks are speculating on the dollars. What they do is that probably they bid it on a low at the official market and sell to the ultimate user at the higher rate. And that is what is happening. That's what CBN is trying to call. That they don't hold dollars. Banks are not supposed to hold dollars. They need to buy on behalf of their customer on the official market and sell directly to them. But what most banks are doing is to buy and use the name of customer to buy and hold dollars and sell back to the dollars. Sell back to the user at the higher rate. And that's what speculation is causing. And most of this money are diverted to private hands. Like I said, politicians buying dollars to keep their loots, and a lot of things is going on. So CBN measure is welcome, but we need to see the impact if it will be effective. But if it's not effective, we have to go back to ground zero. So CBN must ensure that he monitors the system, ensure that the forex market itself, and ensure that the flow and outflow are properly audited to ensure where those money are going to. That's the only way they can curb this, and that's the only way they can actually build confidence in naira and ensure the naira go back to where it's supposed to be.
All right, moving on. Chairman of EFCC, Mr. Ola Olukoyede, revealed that a powerful religious sect in the country secured a court order to stop its men from probing the 7 billion naira linked to some terrorists. And of course, the commission was also saying that he was investigating a 13 billion naira fraud when it discovered that 7 billion of the cash was linked to religious body accounts. What's your take on this development?
First of all, I'd like to relate all the new leadership of AFCC to do more because there are a lot of things going on in our economy today, a lot of corruptions, a lot of manipulation, a lot of fraudulent activities going on in the system today. And the EFCC has a responsibility to ensure that we bring this thing in the board. For most of the things they are bringing to the public space, and ought not to come to the public space until they are ready to prosecute, until they are ready to name those people. For example, I talk about religious group. Which religion group? Christian, Muslim, pagan, which of them? How are they funding this money? How are this money coming into the system? The reason why we have BVN is for the CBN to be able to track inflow and outflow of losses from the banking system. We are not seeing that happen today. This is why we have NIN, is to ensure that we be able to track phone bandits are using to kidnap people. We're not able to achieve that today because the system is not working. There are internal sabotage within our system. So all this EFCC, yes, those things have been happening. We have had about that for many years. What the government to do is to tighten the screw, ensure that the system works seamlessly. They're able to track this money long before they can use it to commit crime. All this money through the financial system, and they can be able to track those money through BVN. There's a system you can actually know flowing out and flowing, and they to query them. Where is this money coming from? Where is it going to? For what purpose? And we are not seeing that happen in that mail. So they need to up their game to ensure that able to solve some of the problems we are facing in this country, both terrorism, insecurity, and the rest, and even corruption. And until they do that, I will just see them as just many playing games. It shows, we have corruption all over the world, in US, in UK, Canada, everywhere. There are corruption. People are telling for people to come and steal free money of government. But what happens those times is that the system works. You are able to track the flow of money. People are able to track the money. When you follow the money, it's easy for you to track the inflow and outflow. For example, when somebody just received $1 billion to his account, somebody has not received up to $100 million before, say $1 billion to his account. It's a system that can track those inflow, where is money coming from, what is the use of those money. And until people use technology to track money, to track corruption here, we won't be able to solve the problem. Number one, government need to be able to make use of the system that are already established. Like I mentioned earlier, BVN is meant to track financial transaction in this country. In one system at the CBN can look at your account through your BVN and see all the activities you are carrying out. And why are we not using this to track inflows of which sources to private hands? For example, the money paid to from humanitarian affairs mission to private account. What has been done to track that? What is this money meant for? And question the owner of the account. And these are what happen in the advanced country. That they're able to track, they're able to issue query on explain where, for example, just suddenly come to a big money. Government can track it and ask you how much tax have you paid and where is this money coming from. What's the purpose of the money? Until you're able to explain the money is frozen by the government. And through this thing, they can nip, without coming to the press, they can nip some of those corruption in the board. And that's what we are expecting the EFCC, ICPC, and government agency, financial, intelligence units to carry out to ensure that we reduce to minimum, barest minimum, instead of corruption. And if you're able to reduce corruption in the country, it will solve so many problems. For example, reduce corruption in this country, we solve the problem of naira fluctuating, depreciating rapidly. We have to solve such an issue of banditry. People are collecting millions of naira ransom, for example. Where are this money going to? Which system is processing this money? How are they laundering this money? This can be tracked through the system. And if you're able to solve this problem, we reduce our price to the minimum level and focus on the regular purposes. Unless if government is really serious in fighting corruption, there are systems that can fight. They can borrow from other countries. How are they solving their own problem? How can we import such things to our system to resolve our issue? That's what we need to do.
All right, moving on. Also, still speaking about the EFCC, Festus Kiamo, revealed that the EFCC is investigating the former minister Hadi Sirika over the controversial Nigerian air deal. And remember that controversial at that time when many people were talking about if really the past administration needed to, unveil a Nigerian air at that time. What's your thought on this?
Like I said earlier, we have too much of drama in this country. Too much of drama. For example, what is the information Kiamo is released to the public to do with us? What are we to do with that if you're investigating somebody, a former minister? It's not our business to have that information. It's a business of government to track those things, conclude their investigation. And then, haven't we had people say they have investigated somebody on money stealing or whatever? The system can track some of those issues, take them to court. There's a political action that they take against people. Why corruption is spiraling in this country? It is because of impunity. Many governors in the 90s, yes, in the I mean 2000 and so, and 2000 during Babasiyo regime, regime, are still on trial today. Nothing has come out of them. They are working free. They are enjoying their loot. As long as impunity in the system, corruption is going to grow in our system, because they knew that our EFCC, our ICPC have to clear good dog. Look at the trajectory of the EFCC the last couple of years. All the leaders, all the heads of heads have been removed over the allegation of corruption. How many of them are brought to book? How many of them have been tried? So everybody can just assume that EFCC cannot do anything, because tomorrow if they try to tinker with or tamper with the federal government, they will just remove the leaders and nothing will happen. Just throw a corruption allegation against them and off they go. So this are majorly the root of our problem. Nothing was removed because it was alleged to have stolen so much money. What happened to his case today? The white paper over his refutation has not been released today. So something is wrong with the system, and this is why we employ the president Bola Tinubu to ensure that they clean the system, reform the system completely. It's not to remove fuel subsidy or flood the naira that will solve our problem. No, it's by removing this, by blocking these leakages and ensure that we have a clean system, at least we reduce to a minimum, so that our country can work again. This is the thing we need. We don't need somebody to tell us, oh, somebody is being investigated. We're not interested in somebody being in the news. We're interested in the action taken. That's going to be the outcome of those investigations. These are things that should interest the public, not that they are being investigated. Then you just go after the news and bring out whether they are investigating people or not. Not that the minister will go sit in his office and announce posting that somebody is being investigated over so and so. It's just like grammar to me.
All right, I would like to ask, you think, in your own opinion, that Nigeria is really fighting to win the anti-corruption war, especially when you look at the selective prosecution of some persons?
No, I would say no. Nigeria is not fighting corruption. When we are fighting corruption, there's a way people fight corruption and they succeed. So far, what the EFCC have fired me running after is internet scammers, fraudsters, few important people in the society that still scam people for those who are stealing billions. Nothing has been heard of them. They are not being prosecuted, they are not being jailed, they are not being punished. Look at one of the, for example, a former head of pension funds that stole 23 billion and it was sent to 2 years jail and was asked to pay 200,000 fine to escape the jail. Such things embolden people to steal more. The more you steal, the more you are able to walk around, able to buy your way out. Just something embolden people to steal. So if government really are serious in fighting corruption, the system already has been established. Like I said, the BVN is a powerful tool but to track financial flows in the system. There's too much that come from outside and inside that doesn't pass through the system. They can track them. It's like the money hits your account, they can see the money, how it hits your account, where it's coming from, what the money is meant for, as well as disposing it's passing the laundering the money out. They can track this thing and track those people who are beneficiary and arrest them and investigate them to explain the source of their wealth, and they bring them to book, to justice. Or you need to see people, high profile people being jailed, being punished and forfeiting their loot to the government. That is where we can begin to see the reduction in corruption, and that's why you can see that government really fighting corruption. If they are not seeing those things, nothing is happening. We're just playing games in this country. That's where I look at it really.
All right, we move on. Governors from the Northwest have pledged to work together and adopt a common approach in tackling security challenges leveling the region, and they've ruled out a negotiation with terrorists. And we've seen that in recent times that people who have been kidnapped, we've seen a lot of negotiations that's been happening already. Say even not too long ago, the Nabiha sisters that were kidnapped, people were even doing like they were raising money for these people so that they could even pay these terrorists, because they felt like the government wasn't doing enough in terms of trying to rescue these girls. What's your thought on negotiating with terrorists and also people raising money to pay terrorists?
Unfortunately, that's the system we are working in. There's somebody who leave his loved one in the hand of bandits, of terrorists, and wait, oh, they are not going to pay ransom, oh, are not going to sit back and wait for government to rescue them. We have seen people being killed because they could not raise money and pay ransom in this country. So, onus upon the family that are affected to ensure that their loved ones are free from the bills or the terrorists or the kidnappers. So we can't blame people who are paying ransom. And the payment of ransom and people getting away with this is a sign of a failed system. Or if the system is not failed, it's possible to track this. They make phone calls to the family of these people. On which location are they making phone calls? Are we saying you cannot track them with all the about N9 or whatever, all the set up the communication? Are we saying you cannot track the location through IP, through all the matter of NIN to track the owner of those phones and to get them? I would say you cannot track the money flow. Where you get so much money, where is this money going to? Are they keeping it in the bush? Are they passing to the financial system? Are they laundering to buy cars? This can be tracked. So for me, the government says you don't pay ransom, people raising money is a joke on the part of the government, it's a failure of the system. When the system fails, everybody just go about doing whatever they like to secure themselves. Go to many places today. People are hiring private security to secure themselves because of the failure of the security agents to protect Nigeria. Government officials, politicians, political officers are looting the economy, are going away with money, and are paying security peanuts. And these are the same security that are put in the war fund to defend the country. They will not. They can take price. Somebody collected 10 million and give the police put money of the money. They will go and do the other side. So we need to do a holistic overhaul of the system, and the government to reassure the citizens that they truly mean business to restore sanity to this country. Until we see that, all these things continue to go on. That's where I look at it really.
All right, let's take a look at Mr. and Mrs. before we go. And Mrs. is speaking this morning. She says, your mother is coming to spend 3 weeks with us, so because of that, I can't enjoy my own husband anymore, eh? And Mr. responds and says, you can't call me baby while my mother is here. End of story.
Yeah, I really enjoy their banters, you know. Sometimes, you know, for me, I always say this thing. For me, couples adopt such system of conversation within their house, within their family, there will be less tension in homes, and there will be less headache or a family breakup. You know, it's a banter, it's a witty exchange of words and bring of words, and brings sanity and brings calmness in the home. Really, so it was a good one, and guys doing a good one.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Oludari Maiwa, publisher of Global Financial Digest. Thank you for sharing your thought with us this morning.
Thank you for having me, and have a lovely day.
Also, remember that you can equally like, share, and subscribe on all our social media platforms showing on your screen. To find out up-to-date stories, go to our website, www.vanguardindia.com, to find out more. I am Precious Chukudi, and thank you for watching.